Yes, should we go ahead and get started?
Sounds good.
Okay. Does anyone have anything that they want to put forward immediately? No one else has anything? I've got a question. And I'll throw it in the chat. So I am trying to hide, if you look at the booking module, there is a field for, and I'll grab a screenshot of it really quickly here. So there is with the 2411 upgrade, there's a new field in placing a booking called Itemtype. And for us, this never really factors in because if you're booking something, everything possible on that bib is going to be the same item type. So I'm trying to figure out a way to hide it. And everything I've tried to put in the Internet User JS system preference so far does not do it. So I was wondering if anybody had any great ideas. I'll show what I've been trying to put in here.
I was just about to say, show me.
Yeah.
So what's the URL of the page that this pop-up shows up on? Because I don't have bookings turned on.
Got it. Okay. So it's not going to be an opaque link. So it's going to be, and it's a modal. So I don't know that it has its own link. I can use like the web developer tools to try and pull something.
The link of the page that the modal pops up on is all I need.
Ah, okay.
Because I'm going to try and look up the same page in the koha-US demo site. Or a similar page.
Yeah. So it would be something like, so it has our URL and then it's that at the end.
Perfect.
Hi, everybody. Sorry I'm late. I've been a little sick.
Oh, no. I'm sorry to hear that.
I don't have much of a voice this morning.
How long has that been going?
Just a couple days. Here we go. So, has anybody anything interesting that they were talking about?
I'm toying around with trying to hide a field in a modal for placing a booking. And so far I haven't been successful in getting it to hide the field. So I'm assuming I'm doing something silly. So asking the group here.
Well, if you're doing li contains, you want the text that appears in the field you're trying to hide, not the I guess that's probably an ID, isn't it? One of the issues I'm having is there's nothing bookable yet in the demo server. I don't have any item type set up as bookable, so I'm trying to create one.
So you're saying the ID would be what I'd be looking for?
Yeah, can you share your screen at all?
I
I mean,
think
you're
so,
not
yeah.
on camera, so I'm guessing there's a reason you're not on camera. It might be the same reason you're not sharing your screen.
Possibly. So I do see a list item, ID equals select to booking item type container. So if I use that ID, would that maybe be a better?
Um,
I have it set up a little bit in my test server, George. I can share my screen.
that's cool,
Thanks,
Um,
because
Jason.
this should be easy.
I tried what I thought would work. So that's not at all what I want. There we go. Okay. So the ID on the select is booking underscore item type. So I thought that if you just did like booking underscore item, like select the ID and then select the parent, which should be the list item, and then hide it, that should work. But that didn't. Oh, no. I think it is. It didn't do anything. Yeah, so it's
So
still
go
there.
back in there and I want to see go ahead and highlight the list item. Yeah. And then right click on it. And are you in
Copy the.
Firefox? I would
I'm in.
copy the JS path and paste that in the chat box.
Where'd that go? Okay, I put that in the chat. Weird that this is using the hold body ID. Like bookings doesn't have its own, which I should have done.
So I think if you use that selector
Let's try it.
from in there, then you wouldn't have to do parent.
So you're saying this. Get rid of the parent.
So that would be that whole selector from the pound sign to the 3.
Yeah,
Alright,
that's still
so
there.
it's like the modal is loading after the page or something, so you can't. I'm not
So
affecting it.
what I'd really want is Firefox lets you choose the CSS path and then you can hide it with CSS.
Yeah, well, let's go over there. Oh, no, I don't want to update my Firefox right now. Okay, so it's this one.
Yeah. Copy
This
CSS selector.
selector. Okay.
Well, the CSS selector will be one thing and the CSS path will be something else.
Right.
But they should be similar.
That's what I got on the selector.
So if you theoretically,
I
I think
was just gonna say I pasted in the CSS path.
So theoretically, if you put this in your intranet user CSS, that should hide it. The thing is it's gonna, the selector is gonna hide every time. That's gonna hide at every place that you have a selector in that position because it's not broad enough. It's too broad.
Mhm.
That one would probably be better, but if you do it in the CSS instead of the HTML, instead of the jQuery, then you don't have to depend on the loading time for that, because the CSS should work no matter when it loads.
Okay, I'll give that a shot in our test instance.
Let Jason test it before you ruin everything, before it turns out that it's a really bad idea.
Yeah, let me break mine. Yeah, okay, that got rid of it.
Yeah.
So what that's doing is saying the modal on search request. So there's not really any other modals like on this page because this is also search request. I don't think you're gonna get any modals, so it shouldn't
It shouldn't
interfere
affect
with
anything else there,
anything.
yeah.
Yeah, I think you're okay. Not the cleanest solution, but it seems to work.
Shot myself.
One of the things that I've learned here is that I should set up some bookable items. I should set up bookings on the demo server so that we've got a place to test those.
No, it's still there for me. Okay. And I put this in internet user CSS. Maybe I need to push a hard refresh here. It just loves to be there. But I won't take, I'm gonna play around with this some more and I won't take up any more of today's meeting. But this gives me a good start for sure.
It's possible that there's something else going on there too, that maybe there's another, since that's working off of the position, it could be that that field is in a different position on yours, because there's some other field being injected into that modal, because there's some setting different on your system than on Jason's.
I think so, but you know what? It's a new thing. I'll keep playing with it. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, I appreciate it.
I haven't even played around with bookable items, so I was trying to figure out how to make one bookable, but it's under the items tab, huh?
You can do it on the items, like on the item level on a bib, or you can set like an entire item type as bookable.
Oh, I think I was poking at that. I had like some broken jQuery. So I think it was the jQuery that was hiding it, not the CSS. Because I just commented out the CSS. And this one that we talked about, I think is what's actually hiding it. This is the danger of opening multiple tabs with your internet user JS. Because different things. It wasn't different. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, that one says specifically the place booking form though, right?
Correct, yeah. And that's in the JS, not the CSS.
Okay. So that first one doesn't seem, the thing that you posted just most recently doesn't seem too scary.
Yeah. Yeah, that one should specifically target that specific modal. But again, it's that whole positioning thing. So if there's like an extra field in there for some reason, then it's picking the third child, the third list item there. So if they add another list item in between the two, then it'll break, that sort of thing. It's not targeting specifically your thing. Although I think we could change it so it does. Since that's working, I'll poke at it some more.
I'll give this one a shot. Let's give it a call. Thanks. I feel frustrated because I'm at the point with both those intranet user JS and intranet user CSS where like I feel like this should do something, but it doesn't. And well, yeah. So I appreciate the people taking a look at it with me. I was going to ask, has anyone noticed anything getting changed around after the 2411 upgrade with the audio cues on your system? Okay, I think it probably has more to do with customizations that we had done, and so but sounds like that's not really been.
We had
really
one of our
necessary.
libraries saying that they weren't getting them when they thought they should be, but I'm still not sure what was causing that.
Okay. Yeah, it's not like a nothing works anymore kind of thing. It's like this used to play this sound on this action, and now it plays like a mix of sounds on this action. And like, so the example that staff were giving to me was when you check an item in that was not checked out already, it used to make the same sound as when you just checked in an item that was checked out. And now they make two different sounds, and trying to parse that out. But just wanted to put that out there in case anyone else had similar experiences.
Most of our staff have their volume turned off on their computers, so we don't really know what sounds are happening.
I haven't had any complaints. So those audio alerts work off of similar to what we were doing here with jQuery selectors and stuff. So it could
Yeah.
be if it's playing two different sounds at the same time, it's seeing those selectors on the page, like two different selectors on the page at the same time or something.
I thought it was supposed to play them according to the order they are on the
Yeah, it
setup
does have a
thing.
precedence column, so you would think it would only play one. That's strange that they're hearing more than one.
I know that one of our libraries, we had a lingering sound alert thing still stuck in our jQuery that I moved over recently. So I don't know if you want to look for that.
The issue that I find after an upgrade is that we tell people to clear their cache after the upgrade. And they have a set of instructions. This is how to clear the cache. And invariably what they do is they go in and they clear their cache and everything else. They all their web history, all of their saved passwords and saved forms, and all of their saved settings. And for most of them, one of those saved settings, excuse me, is the one that says always play sounds. And so that will get turned off. during the upgrade on about maybe 30% of the computers at our libraries. And so then I get, the first thing that happens after an upgrade is I get these calls saying, the computer forgot my password and I don't remember it either. And so now I'm locked out because I've tried using the same password 25 times in a row. And we've got ours set to lock people out after 5. And so the day after an upgrade, we reset a lot of passwords and we get a lot of questions about how come it's not playing the sound anymore? How come when I go to print something, the print dialog box never shows up? And that's because they've erased their pop-up blocker settings. And so that's kind of something that happens to us after every upgrade is everybody's sounds don't work, they can't print, and they can't log in because they've locked themselves out of their account. So
That
So
may
that-
be why I was gonna say that may be why one of my libraries was having that issue, I'm guessing. Is because they actually did clear their cache and everything else.
yeah, that's the other issue we have is these pages aren't loading right. Well, did you clear the cache? No. So we have problems related to I guess that would be cache clearing clash of problems.
I have a question about, so after our 2411 update, we are getting, I'm curious if anybody else is seeing this, that when we're in a big record and we go to find an authority record to then attach in, right? If we search for something that doesn't exist in an authority record, we get a big blue box that says nothing found and we can't research that in that same box. We've put a ticket in with Bywater and they're like, we don't have any idea what you're talking about. We don't know what's wrong. I don't know. I can walk through it if you guys want to see it, but let me see. Let me share
I've
real quick.
experienced it, but I didn't know if it was like that before or not.
No, usually you can just search the same box again. So if we're in here and I go in and I'm like, hey, I want to add another surname to this. So I'm going to go search my authorities. Not that that's a name, but I'm going to look for it anyway. And then we get this giant blue box that says no results found. Usually it's just a tiny little thing that says no results found, and you can search the box again. But now we have to close all the way out and reopen it and try again every single time, no matter what kind of authority we're looking for. So yeah, I'm just wondering if anybody else has seen that. Or
I
if we're
have
just
seen it.
special.
And I didn't realize that it didn't do that before. So
Okay.
because I don't do a lot of authority searching, and it was just kind of by chance that I had something to search after the upgrade. So
Yeah, our catalogers use this all the time. I mean, all of our subjects and everything come in here, so.
I
Okay.
assumed it was with the Bootstrap upgrade that why it looks a bit like that. I know a lot of the pop-ups and modals got broken in weird ways with the Bootstrap upgrade.
Okay,
And yeah, I've been seeing the same thing, but we don't really use our authorities the way they need to be used. So I haven't had too many complaints.
well, we will just keep bugging them and see if it can be fixed. Thanks.
Yeah, I would just send them that video you just made, or a link to this point in the recording. That'll
Yeah.
help them. I definitely ran into this too, and I thought there was a bug, but I'm not finding it. Because my
Oh.
catalogers complained too.
Yeah, I haven't seen a bug yet, but maybe I'll go throw one out there for the whole community rather than just.
Is this something that primarily shows up in the basic editor?
Yes. Yeah, just the basic editor, and it doesn't happen when you're in like the authorities module itself. You can search anything and anything comes up, or it just gives you the, hey, we can't find anything, try again. It's specifically when you're in the basic editor in a bib record trying to link in an authority. So
So
While we're talking,
actually,
oh, go ahead.
Good.
so let me show you what I've got here. If I can find the proper, where are my Zoom controls? There we go. All right, so I just am looking up a name that I didn't think would be in the authorities. So Jason.
I'm not
And if
authoritative.
yeah.
nope. But if I look at the if I look at this div, so the content is there, it's just hidden behind this alert message because the alert message has lost its styling
Oh,
through the Bootstrap upgrade, probably. So
we had some other issues with that. The layering, yeah.
so I will submit a bug saying explaining it.
Awesome. Thank you.
If I can't find one that's out there.
Thank you so
But
much.
that's just it. It's a simple Bootstrap problem where that thing is the warning message is just covering up everything else on the page. So
Yeah, we had a couple other places where that happened where we couldn't get to certain drop-down boxes because they ended up behind other messages and stuff. So good to know.
I saw that they were addressing some of the Bootstrap stuff that got lost in the next, like the 0.03 upgrade. I'm not sure exactly how much they found and fixed, but they are working on it.
Anyone else notice?
I was
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was muted. I didn't realize I was. Go ahead, Kristi. I was just trying to start more conversation.
Oh, I was just gonna ask if anyone else had noticed any, any slower performance with 2411. Our patron lookup has gotten noticeably slower. Wally,
Yes, it's not to the point that it's bugging us, but it's to the point that it's definitely not what it used to be. It's kind of like, you know, how when Windows starts getting older, you know, the version you have or the laptop you have, and it just seems to be lethargic. That's what it's like now, almost in everything.
specific test scores. Oh, you just said almost everything.
Is that constant for you? Because ours kind of comes and goes.
Yeah, it's I would say 65, 70% of the time. It's not constant, but it's enough that it's more than it's not.
Okay. That did make sense. Yes.
We actually noticed it starting with 2405
We're not on 2411 yet, but when we upgraded to 2405 is when we started noticing the slowness with patron searches. If you scan the barcode at the desk, it seems to load pretty quickly. But if you're searching by name, that's when it's very slow.
If we can look up,
Do you have your, when you search by name, do you have it to search by contains or starts with?
we have our set to starts with, this contains would be a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think ours is contains, but it always was also. And it was just definitely from 2405 that it started doing this.
Because I know we were told it might slow it down if we switched to contains, but we didn't really see any.
But we also like, I think there's a setting for what fields it's actually looking in that patron lookup, like first name, last name, preferred name, and maybe card number or something like that. So if you've got like all of those, like a million fields in there, then I think that would have an impact. But we don't have all that many in there.
Yeah, we have not changed anything in our default search settings or whatever. It just, with the upgrades, I agree, it's slowed down in the last couple of months.
Do we know the reason for that? Has anyone submitted a ticket?
We have not submitted the ticket simply because it's just slower. It's not to the point that it's bothersome. It's just not as fast as it used to be. So, I mean, it still functions fine. It's just not as almost instantaneous as it was prior.
We have submitted a ticket, and I thought there was a promise that it was going to be faster, not on 2411, but after 2411. But I can't. I'm trying to find the ticket.
Didn't they recently change their hosting site in the cloud?
That's a different situation. That's I was going to ask if everyone has been affected by that also, because we've had just random outages, it seems like, or very, very slowness. And it's because of that. And they're switching things, I guess, to be behind Cloudflare so that they avoid those, I don't know if they're DDoS attacks or whatever, but
For the patron searching, are you guys it's slow for, are you searching patron extended attributes? Because I did find this
no.
bug. No? Okay. Mine's
No,
not, I was testing
that
mine and it's
was,
not very slow.
yeah, when we first went on to Koha, we were searching attributes, and yeah, we learned the hard way with that. So we're not doing that any longer.
So concerning the Cloudflare issue, we found both our branch, we have 3 different IP addresses for our 19 buildings, and all 3 of them had been blacklisted by a company called IPQS, IP Quality Score, because they saw lots of traffic coming from these 3 IP addresses. Well, yeah, we've got 400 computers hiding behind them. And so we've been blacklisted, and for probably at least a year, we've been seeing problems with various websites and other things. And so we got cut off from Koha twice completely. It was like, you're done. And it determined, and it was, first time it was what the branches, and the second time it was the main library. And they've added us, our IPs Bywater has, to whitelist so that it won't happen again. But it also, we suddenly realized we had a broader problem because we've been added to this blacklist. And so we've been working with our ISP, which is AT&T, to get those cleared up. And suddenly some websites, and I'm like, I don't know what's with this website. It just doesn't work half the time. And I was blaming that website, suddenly started working when we got off this blacklist on one of our IPs. They're still working on the other two. And so getting off that blacklist has cleared up a lot of problems for us that we were having. And we just couldn't track it down. I didn't know about this IPQS company had decided we were bad actors. We were a source of bot traffic and proxies and VPNs and all this stuff. And we're going through our firewall filters and every content filters looking for all this traffic they said we were generating, couldn't find anything. And AT&T is working with IPQS to get our IP address reputation cleared up for us. So you might want to check that company, see what it says about your IP address if you're having trouble.
We actually had that a year ago, and had to get on a whitelist as well. Didn't even think about tracking down to see if there's more outside of it. That's
The
an
source
excellent
of
suggestion.
who it was who decided that we were bad. And it turns out it might be this IPQS company, IP Quality Score. It almost feels
Okay.
like a protection racket because it's, oh, you got problems with your IP, give us some money, we'll help clean it up.
Right. Ooh, okay.
We found a lot of, we were getting a lot of proxy errors or, and then we kept calling Bywater. This was from like January through March. And I'm not sure what happened with it, but they were saying that we may have like a bot or something that was creating this, trying to get into our system. So I don't know if that's related. I don't know enough about this, but it seems to be fixed now.
Somebody had asked if we had submitted tickets on any of these, and I submitted one specifically about the patron lookup delay. So if when I hear back on that, I'll report back here.
Actually, I found our ticket and it looks like there is a bug also. Mm, 2505, I guess it's supposed to be.
It did get backported to 24.11.03. So
Okay.
that'll be the next bug fix that we all get, I think. Those of us that are on 24.11. So hopefully that'll speed up searching.
So that's good. That means then when we do go to 2411,
You should
it
be going
should
straight to
be,
that version.
yeah, well, that'll be good. Okay.
Good things come to those who wait.
Yeah. Yeah, we found that for us, it's better to wait a lot of times.
I had something for Angela's problem with the authorities. I tried what you did, Angela, and once I got the blue box with the nothing found, I chose the clear search form, which does nothing. And
Right.
then I clicked on the whatever the yellow button is, the search again, and I got the form again to fill out, as opposed to having to close the whole pop-up and start again.
Okay. We've tried that before. I wonder if you have to do it in that order. Do both
Yeah,
of them to get it.
I was just clicking around and it was like, well, I clicked on the one button and then I clicked on the other and I got the form again. So maybe give it a shot.
Okay, will do. Thank you.
I don't know, I put some additional jQuery in the chat a little further up for you, Kristi, that it's doing what you were trying to do initially, where you're looking at like what it contains. So that's a lot more specific than what we cooked up earlier. So you can try that one too.
It looked like the first one was working, but this looks more specific, definitely. So this would go also in the JS preference.
Yeah, you can take out the first one that we did and put that one in. It should be doing the same thing. All it's doing is saying, look for that label that contains item type and then find the parent element, which is the list item, and hide that entirely.
Wow. Okay. Thank you.
I haven't played around with bookings much. Is that if you hide that field, then does it need it for if you're placing a booking, or?
It shouldn't. I haven't tried to place one yet, but basically because there's an item, like you pick a barcode or item
Oh.
for your booking, it should match it up to the item type. The only reason I can think of you would need this is if you have a mix of different item types on your bib that you want to book and you don't care which item it is. You're just like, I want the rake and not the shovel, and you would pick rake and it would pick one from there, but that's not a situation that we have. So
Sure, that makes sense.
yeah.
So I have a question I've been trying to figure out for a while, and maybe I'm reading too fast or not reading enough. I'm trying to find the specific permission that makes a staff member a super librarian. Which one is it? Like, is it like a combination?
It's right at the top.
It's the
Yeah.
one at the very top.
The very first one. Yep.
Okay. And everybody else, even though they have they don't have that, but wait, let me see what the top is before I keep going.
The top one should actually erase all the other check marks in the rest
Oh.
of the permissions.
Okay,
Just-
perfect. Now I know what.
Because it means everything. Yeah.
Yeah, access to all librarian functions. It's the one at the top and it's got super librarian in parentheses next to it.
Perfect. That is exactly what I wanted to know. And thank goodness. Thank you.
Has anyone tried the copy user permissions to a new user yet?
I've only done it in our test instance. And that's because, I'm making test accounts there, so I'm trying to do it there. But for our staff, like we have several hundred of them, so it's just easier to use that manage permissions plugin for that.
I did it yesterday with one new staff member and it worked as advertised, it seemed. So
Yeah, I've done it a couple times. Yeah, you just copy and then go into the other one and paste. It's great.
I was all excited to get to use it because we were hiring somebody and then she backed out. So now I need to hire somebody new.
The preference for continuing to use the plugin is that you can set up a template patron for that. And then when you use the plugin and you're like, well, I don't know, when you click on the person, it'll say this person has the circulation template of permissions. And my concern is that if I'm just duplicating permissions, I'm going to look at it and be like, well, I don't know if this is the circ set of permissions or if one checkbox is different. So I still like the old way.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
does
still
anybody
using the
want to
little-
see the
oh,
authorities thing fixed?
totally show
Yes.
us, George.
Okay.
Yes.
So I created some jQuery, and what it does is, sorry, Jason, it's the only name I can think of off the top of my head that I know is not a result. If you remove the class from that with jQuery, the alert info class, it doesn't build that blue box around it.
Yeah, that's what it used to look like.
So
exactly what it was.
this that I'm going to put in the chat, if I can find my Zoom controls. That's the jQuery that you can put in your internet user JS system preference that will fix that on the authorities page.
Awesome.
And
Thank you so much.
I'll put it on the wiki as soon as I can here.
Yeah.
And all that does is that blue box has two classes, alert and alert info. And if you remove it's the alert info one that's not styled right in the Koha CSS. And so if we remove that class, it just takes the blue box off of it. And so the message is still there. It just doesn't have any style to it.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm glad I came to this meeting. I feel so useful.
We're always glad you're here, George.
Absolutely.
Oh, back on the topic of permissions, I'm still using buttons. I can show you what mine looks like. It's sort of messy right now, but Christopher has this on the jQuery wiki where you can do buttons that fill out the forms. So I'm still using those instead of the batch permissions modifier for the same reason sort of that Kristi highlighted, where like if I'm copying it from one person to another, they might have slight deviations. Whereas if I'm doing it this way, I can be sure that they're only getting that set of permissions that I want. I still haven't implemented these little locks in my production server, but I'm going to do that too soon because I have staff people that are giving permissions for the things we don't use. So if there's no checkbox, they can't do that anymore. And I'll put that on the wiki once I get some time.
Well, anybody have anything else they want to ask about or anything cool that they've been doing?
I heard a rumor. Apparently we might be changing, or whoever's doing state reporting will, they might be changing counting opinions to something else because that was funded by IMLS. So that might change for, and that's maybe it's just me, but that's really big. But yeah, state reporting gonna be different.
Will all states even do the state reporting? Because I know the reason that the states want the state reporting done is because that's how they get the funding from the IMLS. And if the IMLS isn't there to say, these are the things we want you to report on, are some states going to say, well, why bother?
I'm still getting emails, so until they tell me no more, I'm gonna keep doing them just in case. But wouldn't that be a trip?
Well, we've got about 7 minutes. We can either keep staring till somebody has something, or if we want to finish up early. Does it automatically save the chat when?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, puts it in like a folder along with the video.
Okay.
It's in the description underneath when it comes out in the video. It's in the description below the video.
It's really nice that everything is automatic. Then I can be late and you guys all can just start talking.
Doing better, certainly by next system administrative save.
I sure hope so. Well, I think then we'll go ahead and adjourn for today. It was good, learned a lot. Hopefully some of the things that we identified will be being worked on by the next time we get together.
Yeah.
Right. Have a good day.
You too.